flicker to get the night started. Downfield looking for Godwin. Into his hands. And guess which dogs are barking first? Uga, get after it.
Chubb scored a touchdown earlier on a direct snap. Now it's Michelle's turn, running all the way. Gets to the edge. Sonny Michelle will send the Dogs home to the championship game.
And Bobo throws that thing in the end zone, and
yes! Touchdown! Touchdown in the goal line!
Cambiando estaba Billingsley. Interceptado. Y a ver hasta dónde lo puede devolver. Es Kelly Ringo. Sigue Ringo. Corta adentro. Ringo. Touchdown. Georgia.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Robert Iron E. Singleton, a.k.a. D-Dog from The Walking Dead, or Alton from The Blind Side. Also the former DB turned running back for the University of Georgia. And you are watching Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. All right, guys. Go Dogs. Sick 'em.
What's going on? It's Respect the Hedges on the Fan Addict Sports Network. I'm your boy, Coach I, and we are here to talk Georgia Bulldogs spring game recap, man. But as always, you know, we're presented by the Tailgate Kings. That's right. It's Coach I, man. Listen, we back in here, man. We had a spring game. I know y'all watched it. Some of y'all went. We're going to talk about what we thought about it. I know we had some good feelings. Let's see. We had some portal talk going on. Let's bring the crew in so we can get this thing popping. Always up first. You know who it is. It's E-Rob. What's going on, E-Rob?
Hey, Coach. You know, ain't nothing changed, baby. You know, I woke up this morning. I looked at the mirror. The mirror looked back at me. And we were still both champions. Ain't nothing changed,
Facts.
Baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do at Georgia. And ain't nothing changed. So, you know what? I'm interested. I'm ready to get the guys on because I want to talk about this portal thing because it kind of leads into we had a big weekend, a big recruiting weekend. A lot of recruits were in town this weekend for the G-Day scrimmage. So, you know what I'm saying? I think this train going to keep rolling right down the track. So, I'm ready to talk about it. There's some things I like, some things I want to see us improve on. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Go Dogs, baby.
That's right. Go Dogs. Next up, man, we got our guy, CA. He about to be our in-the-car correspondent. What's going on, CA?
I don't know. I keep getting caught like this, Coach. I'm excited to be here, though, man. You know, I second the same emotion that E-Rob mentioned, man. It was a great time in Athens. You know, I'll be honest with you. You're gonna be a little bit disappointed with my feedback today, and just being, what do they call it, transparent. Man, I was hanging out with Dog Nation, man. Dog Nation, that's what a championship situation looks like. I sat with some of the best fans and really enjoyed a Saturday in Athens. Me and my brother took the trip up, met up with a couple of guys on the show. But I just got to give a shout out to Bulldog Nation. They said they couldn't do it on the field, but they do it in an elite fashion off the field. And we had a time.
That's what I'm talking about. Talking about.
Hey, Coach, I'm really glad that Corey came on and said that because I had that in my back pocket. I was like, if he tried to give y'all some in-depth when he watched that scrimmage, I'm like, that's cap. That's cap.
I missed the majority of it.
Hey, it be like that sometimes, man. Let's bring another one of our crew up, man. Let's bring Thad Shawty Parker. What's going on, Thad? What's up, champ?
Hey, man, what's happening, man?
Shawty.
I loved it, man. That pretty much summed it up, you know.
Good time after that.
Dog Nation still partying after the Natty.
Yeah, I was able to catch, the first half, and it is the spring, so I don't really put a lot into the spring. It's always just good to see a a bunch of young guys getting reps. So I say pretty much what I got to say for the show, and man, let's go. Let's get it back to back, man. We out here.
That's right, man. That's right. Let's say what's up to the RTH family, man. Shelby in the house. You know who first up. She said, let's talk G-Day, the good, bad, and the ugly. That's right. We'll talk about it from what we all saw. I ain't gonna lie. I watched the first half, the second half. I don't know. I was playing spades, so I don't know. You know how I get. I had to get focused so I could win. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All right, Stat Guy is in the house. Stat Guy said it was ugly. Nah, he said definitely impressed with Bet. Coach been selling him to me for 3 years. So he watched that. I know, a lot. Listen, man, only the Dogs was on regular ESPN. If you didn't have some kind of package, you couldn't watch nobody else Saturday. And it was about 15 games on. So shout out to the Dogs for being back-to-back champions and getting on the ESPN ESPN dose. AP in the building. He said, hey, the real AP is in the building.
Let's go.
Bulldog. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, man, let's well, the part that you did see, CA. the part that you did you see a newcomer out there, like a freshman, a true freshman, mid-year enrollee, or a transfer that you saw anything that you liked?
I'll be honest with you, Coach. I really enjoyed the time. I saw maybe 2 plays, man. I saw Carson Beck take the field, and I didn't pay attention.
We're gonna switch it up, CA. We're gonna switch it up. This is how we do.
Tell me something, Coach. I just told you now.
Listen, you stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. Listen, tell me what the feeling is outside in the Dog Nation as you tailgating, getting ready for the G.
There you go. That's a better question.
Well, I'm going to tell you about the environment I had a chance to participate in. And if you are a recruit coming to Athens on a weekend like that, you are easily sold. That environment is conducive to being a Bulldog. They'll tell you what it's like. They'll show the appreciation. This is a well-versed fan base that we get a chance to take advantage of. And these fans are at the forefront of everything in the red and black. And on that Saturday, we had a chance to experience it, to walk around, to feel the vibe, to hear those conversations, understand that these fans are totally committed, not just to Kirby, but to the program. So they really want to know what's going on with recruiting. They want to know what's going on behind the scenes, but they also want to show their appreciation to the Dogs. And that's one of the things that I don't think a lot of the Bulldogs get a chance to appreciate. So I was really enjoying the Letterman mixing and mingling with that fan base, on their turf. And aside from that, man, I think we got out of there healthy on the field. But I'm interested to see, just like the rest of the fans, what is the thought about the depth chart? What is the thought about what's going on that offensive line, and who do I need to be paying attention to on defense as far as guys I don't know from last year?
Cool. We got Philip Hudson checking in. Say, what's up, Dog Nation? Hey, man, that's some good insight, though, CA, because like you said, I've always thought when we're in the recruiting battle with some heavy hitters, man, if we can just get the people on campus, especially if it's a game day environment, I think that is a big advantage to us. Thad, what did you see out of the recruiting scene, the fan base on Saturday that's just a little bit different than it used to be about 5 or 6 years ago?
Well, all I say is, I couldn't tell half of the stadium was shut down.
Right.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I mean, it was electrifying, man. It's amazing to see how far and how much, the resources and everything that's been poured into it. I mean, this is an event now. It's not normally just like, it was a scrimmage, it was a practice, blah, 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 blah. But this is a whole event.
Yes.
This is amazing to see how far, the program has progressed. Like you say, since 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, even from when we was there. That's why it's so amazing, because I can see the big difference, But just getting to the game, man, the question that you kind of asked CL a little bit earlier, man, I was happy to see a lot of the young guys get reps, because some of those guys are going to have to step up. I was happy to see the running back, the young kid from California. Is it Erik Robinson?
That's it.
I was good. It was good to see him get some carries, man. Now he gonna move the pile.
Yeah.
He gonna move the pile. I wish I had a chance to get to see him in space. I didn't get to see that, but other than that, I really like what I saw from him. The young receiver, Z Hayes, I think I mentioned him earlier in the season on one of our shows. He looked real good. All the freshmen, I mean, it was amazing. A lot of those freshmen looked good, man. They got rep ones and twos, man. It was just awesome to get that kind of, experience so early in the season. And one thing I will say, I think I heard maybe a little negative talk, but I was impressed with the cornerback, AJ Harris, man. They went at him. And for me, for the most part, he held it down. I was impressed with him to be a freshman and get out there and, rep with the second ones and twos and do what he did. So I was very impressed, man.
I'm glad you brought him up. I was going to definitely ask E-Rod, man, what did you think about AJ Harris? Because he definitely got the body type. He's got all the measurables. And I'm like that. I'm like, they went at him, but I think he held his own to be his first time in front, on camera, in a live scrimmage.
Yeah, it's a different kind of animal when you out there between those hedges and that ball go over there. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? You just need those reps. You just need to be out there. You just need to do it over and over and over again. That kid's going to be a good player. They definitely went at him. That's the one thing about G-Day. We throw the ball a lot. So it's going to, the ball's going to be in the air. So, just be ready for that. So in terms of mid-year guys that I saw, a lot of them were on the defense. C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson, Janelle in the secondary. He stood out to me. He looked like he's going to be able to help Georgia this year. But the one guy that really, for me, because I went back, because I was, I ain't going to just tell on CA. I was partaking in the environment as well. So watching it live, I had to go back and watch it. So I've watched it a couple of times on television. But Damian Wilson, y'all listen to me. Damian Wilson got a different kind of explosion. Now, just remember you heard that here first. That dude, they're going to find a way to get him on the field this year, and he's going to be in the backfield disrupting and making shit happen. Remember you heard that here first.
Just like last year, this time of year, E-Rod was telling us about Malachi Starks, the future All-American. You know what I'm saying? Is All-American, but future at that time. We need to keep our eye on. Damian Harris is an edge player. I think our edge rushing is going to be a lot better this year. I don't think we may not mid-season. I don't think we're going to have to manufacture as much pressure as we did last year with a lot of blitzing, because we like to blitz the inside linebackers. But I think these edge guys, Darren Smith, to me, he's a redshirt freshman and didn't get to play last year really because he got hurt in the second game, along with Damian Harris. Listen, what about Mekhi Muse, the punt returner / kick returner, dog? Like, listen, he's a preferred walk-on that came in last year, but he didn't get no snaps last year. Listen, man, he was all over ESPN Twitter.
Hey, he showed out.
Hey, man, listen, the man had a good G-Day, man.
Wait a minute. Now, I ain't see a whole lot, but I saw something. Are we talking about the guy that had the punt return or the kick return?
Yes, in my 87.
Come on, man. Now you know that kick. Man,
they touched him at least twice, man. Hold on. Man, that was the spring game, man. They let that ride, man.
Why you think they took the ball back to the 30, man?
And did it over. I'm like, come on.
Hey, man, listen. Okay. Like I say, I went to Twitter. I'm like, I'm like you see. I'm like, well, we ain't tackling the kickoff, guy anyway, the punt guy, the punt returner anyway.
Man. That's all you gonna do.
And I'm like, but listen. When I tell you he had his day on social media, listen, 247 ESPN, all of them were talking about 87.
You know what? I ain't mad at that. Okay, I'm gonna let him have that.
Bump that NIL up, man.
Hey, get that NIL money, dog. Like,
get that man his money.
Get that man his money, man. We had some returning players. We had some returning players that came back, man. They in bigger roles now. You know what I'm saying? Amarius Mims. Shout out to the offensive line, dog. Like, listen, if our offensive line stay healthy,
say it, coach. Say it,
bro. They were talking about ESPN how Carson Beck had time to draw up the play, then run the play in the backfield. It's like, I know, what I'm saying, our defensive line going to have to, gel together, and Kirby was not happy about that in the first half, about our defense at all, the aggression or anything. But that offensive line was holding. Listen, man.
Man, like they had a lot thrown at them, coach.
No.
They didn't. Hey, I'm just saying, listen, our defense supposed to be top 5, right?
No, listen, they showed up in the second half because see, most of us
we
were celebrating and we was out there in the atmosphere. I went back and watched. Kirby said something. Let's just say it that way. He said something to him at halftime. You know what I'm saying? The switch got flipped, and they played the whole second half. The start was out there at the end of the fourth quarter. That trip.
Wow. So that might got more hustle, man. But the spring is for looks. I don't know if I ever seen so much man-to-man coverage and just throw the ball here. Don't look nowhere, throw the ball here. Come on.
You're right.
All I'm saying is Kirby was not pleased with the first half. He don't care if it's a scrimmage or not. Their defense was
no. I'm just talking about in terms of what you saw on the field. I mean, you're putting people in position to make a play.
Yeah. It's by design. It is by design. It's some of that same stuff happens during the season. You got to figure out what you got. You got to throw a match under some of this. And hey, he might want to go into the offense. Into the off season, really aggressive toward the defense, knowing that he needs to build that up, knowing that he needs to get that to a championship level. So yeah, I think it's by design.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. We got a chance to see all three quarterbacks on Saturday. We got to see Carson Beck, and actually they switched. Like I think him and Brock Vandagriff switched teams at one point in the second half, so they could play with everybody. So we got to see Carson Beck, we got to see Brock Vandagriff, and we got to see Gunnar Stockton. Is there anything, E-Rob, that you did not like about what you saw out there?
First, let me start with Carson Beck, because that's what my focus was. I want to make sure that this dude, I want to see if he's just in control. He looked like he was in control. He's delivering the ball. He stood in the pocket. He stood tall in the pocket and delivered that football. Exactly what I wanted to see. It looked like his head was in the right place. I'm feeling good about that. Brock Vandagriff, I was expecting to see. I don't know. I don't know. I was expecting to see a little bit more. I feel like he should have been a lot better than Gunnar, and I feel like it was kind of even. Okay. So, we'll see about him.
Basically, E-Rob was not impressed with our backup quarterbacks thus far, especially consider what Thad's saying. A lot of that is drawn up to actually help people get open and make plays. So I did personally think Gunnar Stockton looked a little bit more ready for it. Brock said in the interview afterwards that he was really nervous because last year he didn't really get a lot of time or whatever, and this was the most snaps he had got, like in the stadium, in the live scrimmage or whatever. I get that, and it's just a scrimmage, but like I said, if I'm being honest, I'm like E-Rob. I was a little bit more impressed. I'm a little bit more comfortable, I should say, with Gunnar Stockton at this point than I am Brock Vandagriff. All right, Stat Guy got a question. Said, do y'all think Monroe Freely sees the field any meaningful snaps? He's a mid-year. No, he is not. That offensive line is deeper than deep can get. I'm gonna tell you like this: we are over scholarship limit, and that brings us to this is kind of potential concerns, not concerns, but transfer portal. I know everybody knew about Bear. We heard about that. We'll get to that. But Monroe Freely was the number one offensive tackle in the nation coming in. That line deep, man. And it's gonna be hard to crack the code on that offensive line, man. Like the starter's gonna be in there. I know we're gonna rotate, but there's a lot of guys that was highly rated, highly considered that's been waiting their turn. We got Micah Morris, you got Austin Blasky, I think his name is. Like these guys are gonna come in, man, and I think Green is gonna earn that left tackle spot. I thought that before G-Day, and he didn't disappoint on G-Day. In his, just watching him one-on-one with the guy lined up in front of him. So I personally do not think Monroe Freely is, or any of those offensive linemen from this past class are going to see the field this year. It's just about development at this point.
Kirby does like him, though. Kirby does like him. I've heard him mention his name a few times. So it looks like he has a bright future, but like you said, Coach, we deep, man. So it's going, it's a process.
And that, other than being deep, like when you talk about college big time programs, why is it so hard for the offensive lineman to come in and break in as opposed to like a running back or a wide receiver? Because they coming in with body types.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing about playing on the offensive line, you have to be smart. You know what I'm saying? You have to be very, very smart. And offensive linemen, the thing about them, man, like once you get in there, it's hard to get out unless you get injured. Like once you get in the rotation, you ain't getting out. So you got guys that normally has a lot of playing time ahead of guys that's coming in and trying to start right off the bat with the offensive line, because the offensive line is like a chain. You need continuity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got you.
I don't want to say I hate to say it, but to be honest, the offensive line room is part of the most tightest, close-knit room there is in all the positions, whether people know it or not.
Yeah.
Like, they do everything together. They speak the same language. Like, everybody else, other position groups, you might have 2, 3, 4 guys maybe hang out. All the offensive linemen hang out.
Gotcha.
So, you know, coming in as a freshman, I mean, you got to be a bad man. Or maybe the guy who just left was a senior and they didn't have much depth. But generally, you're always good programs are always so deep in the front 7 on both sides. It's very hard to crack starting lineup as a young guy.
I got you. That's what I was wondering, because like I say, I'm looking at some of these guys, man. They look like they've been in the program 2 or 3 years physically. But, you know, like you said, like we got some 5 stars, Michael Morris that I mentioned earlier. That dude's the 5-star guard. And
look at Roger Robinson. I mean, he looked like he can go to the NFL right now.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, but see, the game is so different.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
The game is so different. Game is a lot different from high school to college, and then you're not just going to any college, you're going to the SEC. So you know the guy across from you is a defensive lineman trying to play on Sunday. As the offensive lineman, it ain't just about size. They hit it on the head. That level of intelligence has to be extremely high. They're like a chorus. They're in unison with step, stride, call. I mean, you have to be able to recognize differences in fronts, blitzes, schemes. Their level of study and preparation is well above and beyond. It's only really second to a quarterback. So you really have to rely on that offensive line, primarily the center, to, you know, they got to be extremely intellectual, because it's a lot that's going to be thrown at them. And then at the same time, you need to be some of the strongest guys in the league.
You're going to be physical and be in hand-to-hand combat after all that analysis and all that thinking. Then you got to go beat up on some
and you know what, Coach? One thing I want to throw in there too, guys. Remember, a few shows back, we always kind of talk about having to, you know, learn the playbook, and that way it hinders, you know, young guys coming into, you know, new program. I forgot to mention this. I didn't even remember this. Not only do you have to learn the playbook, but in our system, we had to learn sign language. Everything had a sign.
Yeah.
So you literally had to learn a whole new language, along with learning the playbook. I didn't even realize the sign language part. I had forgot about that. So, I mean, it's just very difficult for a freshman.
Loud in Knoxville.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Listen, man, that brings us talking about the trenches, man. We still about 4, even though we've had a couple in the portal right now. Ryan Davis, the linebacker, Bear Alexander, defensive lineman, and Sean Washington, defensive lineman, are in the portal. We still about 4, maybe 5 over the limit. So, Dog fans, don't get worried. We have to let some people go. That's just how that thing rolls. The same thing happened last year. The portal ends on April the 30th. So the next week or so, you will be seeing more people in the portal. I myself think there will be an offensive lineman or 2 in the portal, because like I said, we got about 21 to 23, 24 of them dudes, and somebody like Kirk, and it might not be that they want to leave. Kirby might like, look, man, we focusing on these younger guys. You 3rd year, 4th year in the system. Hey, man, I want to see you on the field, man. It might behoove you to hit hit the transfer portal.
Oh, that conversation he's definitely having that conversation with some guys for sure.
You're gonna have to.
Yep. No doubt.
Is there another position group that y'all can see that somebody may leave? But before you answer that, I did see Dominic Blaylock on the sideline with a jersey on. I don't know what that was about. He did not. Yeah, he was on the sideline. Yes, I don't know. I asked somebody Friday, I'm like, God, Dominic Blaylock can't find a home. Like, this dude good, man.
I like him, man. I hope he stays, man.
I'm not. So I don't know. I'm not saying he's staying, but
that's one of the deepest. That's one of the deepest rooms we have now.
It is.
I know CA like deep. That. The wide receiver room deep out there.
It is.
Hey man, it get cutthroat, and the heads will roll. Look, it ain't with a couple of spots, so
I'm talking about for sure we can play 6 guys. Like we got 6 guys, solid scholarship receivers coming back with playing time.
Yeah. And then we got like I say, and then you got the Ra Thomas, you got the Dominic from Missouri.
Yeah.
You got the Z Hayes, you got Tyler Williams, man. It's like Jackson.
And they might not even see the field.
Facts. And Jackson Meeks got a little playing time last year, and he Carson Beck, one thing Bad mentioned last year, when you the second team quarterback, you get the rep with the second team receiver. So of course, once you first team quarterback, you throw it to the guy you normally throw it to. So he threw it to Jackson Meeks a lot Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I know how that goes.
Yeah. So you got first-hand knowledge about that, huh,
Hey man, sometimes you have to ride that backup on to stardom. Now look at here. Hey, me and Mike Bobo, that's a relationship, baby. And it didn't start between the hedges. That started on the practice field. But
I like Bennett and McConkey.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's right. You're right. Lad McConkey and Bennett had that, like you say, non-verbal language they were speaking. You know what I mean? And like you said, Dylan Bell, he's gonna get a lot of playing time. You're right that I could see a couple of them dudes in the portal.
Yeah.
And then not for nothing.
You got who is the number? What his name? Lovett, Dominique Lovett.
Yeah.
He gonna play.
He gonna
damn
play.
right, he gonna play. Damn right, he
gonna
play. He gonna play. Yeah.
He gonna get on the field. One way or the other. He too explosive. Listen,
hey, Coach. Let me ask this question. Let me hijack for a second. Because what y'all
all in the video.
Hey man, let me hijack, man, for a second. We down a person. We got a little time.
We got a little time. Yeah, we got a little time.
No. This is my question though, because you're right, Dad. We deep as hell at wide receiver. And that's not even to mention the tight end. We deep there as well. Young but deep. It's a lot of talent there. How's Bobo gonna make this work? Because it looked like we're gonna be able to run the ball as well. So how does that work? How you mix this gumbo up and keep everybody happy and make sure we're productive and all that good stuff? That's gonna be the question. How's he gonna do that?
I think you just do what you normally do as an offensive coordinator. He ain't. People act like he new to this, like he's so inexperienced, ain't never done. This man on average 35, 38 points. Mm-hmm. He got better toys to play with and a better defense behind him. I don't think I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very impressed. Once again, I know it was the spring, but he ran a play where it was a flood to the short side of the field. And it was just by design, an awesome play that he got to Oscar Delp. And just as a defensive coordinator, that would have caught me off guard. I'm just being honest with you. He ran a flood into the short side of the field. And it was an awesome play. Not only was awesome play call, but the design. Mm-hmm. It was a 3-level flood play. It was just a great call. So, man, Bobo gonna be all right, bro. He gonna be out. And one thing about our offense, I don't think it's necessarily about making sure everybody eat. I think it'll happen by design. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that. But I think we're gonna be okay, man. I really see us, still averaging, Now I can see us being a little bit more run heavy, but I can still see us up in the 28 to 35 points a game. Average.
I think we're going to average in the 35 to 38 range, and I actually think we're going to pass the ball a little bit more. I think our running game is really good, but I don't think we got like that guy that's going to home run hit us.
Yeah, I feel we're being more vertical, man. We ran a lot of
maybe that's it. Maybe we still balance, but we go vertical a little bit more. And
I saw a lot of dig routes, and I don't think we ran a lot of 12 to 16 dig routes. Last year.
Mike love to dig.
And I saw a lot of that.
And see, now when we go that 12 personnel, not that Darnell couldn't catch the ball. It's not like he was a fluid route runner, but he could catch it. But they say Delp is actually the best route running tight end we have. So we go 12 personnel. We got the tight ends out there. You got the wide receivers, all these wide receivers. And we ain't just got wide receivers, dog. We got wide receivers that any day could be the number one guy. Marcus Roseman, Jack Saint, Dominic Levitt, You know, you got Arian Smith. They're using Arian
We
Smith
might
on
be more
reverses.
11 personnel.
And we could be. And you know, I thought about that. I thought about that because Sperling's hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like if Sperling wasn't hurt, now we 4 deep and they can use him more freely. But until he's healthy, you know, we only got 3. So you're right. We might be a little bit more 11 personnel. And
I like that.
But we might be more explosive. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're talking about the running game is not where you think it's going to be. And we got all this speed and size now.
Listen,
speed, stretch fit.
I think the running game is still going to be there. I think the running game is going to be there.
The running game is always going to be there. Like you say, and those running backs are going to be those guys that can lean on people because Zero, like you say, his body's ready. Branson is ready. I mean, when Kendall get healthy, he's like, these are some big dudes.
Big boys, yeah.
Like
we're going to bludgeon. We're going to bludgeon them in the running game this year. Set up that play action real sweet because safety's going to have to come down here to stop those big backs we got. So I think Mike is going to be creative. You know, it's not going to be the same guy every week. He'll be able to spread it out, but I think that'll just help to keep the defenses off balance. But I like the 11 personnel theory versus last year. We knew it was going to be a lot of 12. We knew we were going to see 2 tights at the least because we wanted our best 11 players on the field. You know, right now we probably don't want to burn out what we got going on at tight end, especially here in the early parts of the season, because we know we can lean on that late. So I want to see what Mike does in that 11 personnel too, to see what he can, you know, highlight some of these receivers. I like that vertical passing game.
I like what CA just touched on, man. Like especially at the beginning of the season, man. Those first 4 games, man. We got Ball State and somebody and somebody and somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's
okay,
like we can. Yeah, you
those
know what I'm
supposed to be high 40, 50-point games.
And you can try a lot of stuff. You know, you can try a lot of different personnel, a lot of different formations. You know, and to E's question, man, I think Bet gonna have a little something to do with spreading that ball around too. His first 6 passes went to 6 different people. So you know, it's like
he has his timing and his touch is awesome. I mean, he has great timing and touch. I mean, like he throws a nice. Like his deep ball, you know, he's dropping it in the basket, bro. Like he got great placement.
I told you he could spin that thing, man.
If he started off hot, that's going to dictate who Georgia is. I mean, because Mike knows how to ride a horse too. So you know, if it's going, it'll keep going. And I like what Beck looks like. You know, I feel the same way you do. I want to see, you know, what is his limit. Let's sling it around the yard then. Let's, you know, be a Burrow then if that's who you are.
I could see what Thad say, like more run heavy as we get into the SEC schedule. But in the beginning, like you said, CA, I think we could see. Let's see what Bet really got. Let's sling it around the yard a little bit because it's Ball State, it's South Carolina. Shout at Stat Guy.
That was a big shot.
It's the other 2 teams that I can't never remember, but like, and then as you get into that SEC schedule, our backs is still fresh. We can lean on them, we can run, we can go heavy on them. You know what I'm saying? But in that beginning, we got a little bit more room for error if need be. But I've always liked the way Carson could spin that thing, and he hasn't disappointed yet. So we'll see it. But we do need to get somebody ready behind him. You know what I'm saying? Because any day, you know. Yeah. Listen, man.
That's the kicker.
You got to get somebody ready behind him because while he can run in a straight line, he is not shifty like Stetson. So, you know, we don't want nothing.
He going to get
hit. You know, so one of those guys behind him got to be ready.
It's going to be very, very important because you got a big, tall guy like that. That's why the play action is going to be very, very important, man. If he can get going with play action, we'll be able to protect him a lot better.
Got you. And we're going to definitely need that. We're going to definitely need that. Like you say, he's about 6'4", 6'4.5".
Yeah, man, you can hide that ball, man.
Prototypical, dog.
You better take that line to dinner.
Keep them upright. Hey, they should be your best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What I am interested to see is we know Stetson owned the locker room. You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. Those guys would have followed him into whatever war he wanted to go. I'm interested to see as the season goes on if Carson Beck have that same command over the whole team. Like, you know, you had
got to earn
guys.
that.
Yeah,
got to earn that.
Guys taking up for Stetson.
3rd and 1 on the 40. Earn it. Well, come on.
Look, we some offensive guys on here. We outweigh this defensive guy, but I'm gonna ask E-Rob this. I guess I'm gonna pose this question: is that the past 2 years that we've been riding this high wave and we won back-to-back national championships, we've had stars, and I mean stars along the defensive front. Like, who is going to be that star? I'm not saying that they can't be great, they can't be good. But in terms of opportunity, I guess this is time for opportunity. Who's going to be that star? Like, who's going to be that dog? Like, with Bear leaving, I thought Bear was going to be that next dog up front. Who's going to be that next dog?
Man, great question. So I got somebody circled here. And this goes back to what you was asking, Coach, about people returning and who's going to be a big returner and have a big impact on us. And Zion Lowe, he's going to be he's going to be that anchor on that defensive line. But as to answer your question, that breakout dude is number 13. I think he out with a foot.
He out with a foot injury. McCall. Yeah, McCall.
He gonna be a problem.
Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna be a problem. He gonna be something to deal with. And when you got that, with the rest of what we have, it's gonna be a problem. And we're just deep. Even with all these guys leaving on the defensive line, we still gonna be 6-7 deep. You know what I'm saying? Guys that you just don't know their name yet.
What about Jonathan Jefferson?
He's one of the dudes that's in that rotation. They're gonna be a problem. They're just gonna lean on him. You know what I'm saying?
Like y'all said, man, some of these freshmen got to learn the defense. But if they do, I'm telling you, Jordan Hall, the true freshman, number 40, he was number 44 on Saturday.
Yep, he flashed.
He flashed. But I think to your question, that I think a lot of our interior defensive linemen gonna be solid. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna get beat. They're gonna be
and that's
solid.
what I figured. But do we have a star? You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't think the star, like the past, like you said, in the 2 championship runs, we had stars in the middle of the line, and our edges were solid. I think it's gonna flip flop this year. I think the inside gonna be solid, and I think them edges gonna get out to people, dog. I think these dudes gonna be out there like fighting to see who's gonna lead the team in sacks, dog. Because, like I say, the Smith kid, the Harris kid. There's another kid that came in.
No, I'm talking about Wilson, Damian Wilson, 35. That's what I'm talking about.
Wilson and Harris. That's what I'm saying. Like, them dudes gonna be out there eating on that edge, dog. I'm telling you. And that's why I think it's gonna be. It's like, keep them in front of you in the middle. Don't let nothing get through you, and then let them dudes come off the edge hungry and getting after people. And then them linebackers, I just say, hey, linebackers at UGA, don't get hurt, because you might not get your spot back. Just CJ Allen, I'm telling you, he has been in like Kirby's mentioned him a couple times in practice when I saw him. He was good.
First name on the list. Yep.
Listen, CJ Allen look like he ready, man. Like he ready. So
him and Raylan Wilson, they pop, man. I'm telling you, dude. Shit, Georgia's LBU, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, dude. We got some young lions. They ready to go, man.
Listen, I bet you guys would change your answer to the question. It looked like the offense was still ahead of the defense this spring too.
Yes.
Clearly.
I said the offense was gonna be ahead.
You did?
So, yeah. I said the offense was gonna be ahead. Just because, like you said, like I just feel like we like Thad was saying, the stars, like a lot, like our offensive line, they're stars. All of them dudes came, that especially that middle, and then like Amarius Mims, and then Green look like he just plug and play almost, you know what I mean? But that Tate Ratledge, Xavier Truss, and Van Pran, they look like they's like, man, whatever you want to do, we can do it. And that's why I think, because we don't have that star on the opposite side, the offense just looked like they clicking. And then a lot of those receivers came back. Dog, I don't know. I know it's a spring game, but the offense did look like they was gelling.
They said this on the broadcast, that Bobo kept all the same terminology from what Monken had, which is, I wonder how true that is. So that they said that he kept all the same terms.
That'll accelerate the curve right there.
See, I didn't know that. That's what I was saying. I thought we was gonna have to learn terminology and all that.
No, we ain't got time for that. No. He getting paid too much money. He got to change.
Look, that way he be there for her. He wasn't
exactly. Hang
out. So Stat Guy said, when y'all was players, he knows the spring game is now a big event, but when y'all was players, how was it playing in the spring game? And he wanted to know, did I go to the spring game when I was at school? I did not go to the spring game when I was in school. I was somewhere.
I almost said something.
Yeah. So how was it playing in the spring game? Is that something that after 2 weeks of hardcore practice y'all was looking forward to, or y'all was just like, man, let's get this game over with so we can end the spring and then chill out for a couple of weeks?
All that what you just said. What a party after the game, because I know it's gonna be cracking in springtime. That probably that's my damn problem. That's what I was thinking about.
Man, it was just like another practice. I mean, it had a little bit more intensity, maybe, but I mean, much as you scrimmage, it was just another scrimmage for me as a player. Granted, we was in the stadium, but we scrimmage in the stadium all the time. So
just more people.
I think it depends on what level you at in your career. Your first one, is probably going to be important to you because it's helping to dictate your playing time. Yeah, you between the hedges, they out there. Your first one is still kind of wide open. After that, it's business. It's strictly business. It's getting through. It's staying healthy. We trying to get to the night because the depth chart going to do what it do in the off season, and we just got to get through the spring.
Yeah, it is. Shelby was,
but it does matter though.
And she said she went. She was a Georgia girl. That's right. Shelby was a Georgia girl, so she was at the game. But yeah, so
appreciate you, Shelby.
So there you answer, stat guy. That the players, like CA said, you coming in that first year, man. You're trying to get your bearings, man. Get everything down, and as it goes on, this business. Let's get through the spring. Let's get healthy. Let's, like E-Rob say, find where the party at. I did not attend because I was already where the party was.
You was already there.
we looking for coach. We looking for coach.
I'm trying to get in early. So, hey, man, listen. There's been some spring games, in the past, where we had some questions. I just it's hard to find questions when, a lot of other than Brock Vandegrift. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a lot of questions about it. I got a question about who gonna be our backup. That's a key. I know we don't want the backup to have to play, but that's important for us to have a solid backup. And I felt like the last couple of years, like between JT and Stetson, if everybody's healthy, I don't think we was thinking one was gonna lose. You got some company, CA.
I got a bunch of it, don't I?
Yeah, and then last year, even though Beck didn't play, I personally wasn't super worried about Beck just throwing the game. This year, I need to know who gonna be that backup guy, and I need to know what's gonna happen in the transfer portal. What's going on, little CA? What's gonna happen in the transfer portal if Brock don't like how it came out? Because they asked him before spring and he was like, I'm staying because I'm getting good reps and I'm liking it, I'm learning. As long as I'm learning, I'm staying. They asked him after the spring and he was like, well, we'll see what the future holds. We're going day by day. So the answer kind of changed up a little bit. So do we think Brock gonna make it through April 30th?
Somebody ain't
not with that kind of commentary. It don't sound healthy. It don't sound like he feel the same.
And that leads to us, like I say, looking for somebody in the portal just to fill the depth, because then you only got 2 scholarship quarterbacks back there. Yep. So let's see why. Shelby say, why is she waving like your daughter can see her?
Now, one thing I will say, one thing about Kirby is he's very good with keeping things, closed wrap in-house. And he has a knack of, speaking with these kids and letting them know about how opportunity can possibly arise on, one play. Because you can easily go from, 3 to 2 in one play and, 2 to 1 in another play. Right. And unless it's just, something outrageously, maybe like some NIL type money or something like that, with the deposition of being a quarterback, I can almost see him riding it out through the year, though, and maybe leaving after this year.
Yeah, that's what I think. He rides it out this year just to see how it goes. And if it's the same situation, because unless Beck has a Mac Jones kind of year, he's got another year of eligibility. So if he rides it out and he's like, look, man, it don't look like I'm cracking the code, man. It's time to get out of here and play these last 2 years.
Then you're thinking about who coming in.
And yes, we got a guy, Ryan Pulaski. I hope I'm saying your name right, Ryan. If not, forgive me. And then we also are still going after the number one player in the nation in 2024 and Dylan Raiola. You know, word on the street is it might be a solid commitment in Athens. We don't know. We ain't got nothing confirmed, but that's the word on the street. So if he come in and then Ryan comes in and you're not playing in 2023, that might be a recipe to hit that portal in that first opening in December.
And y'all remember how many guys got out of there when Quincy hit the town? I'm talking about skirt. That flight was leaving quick. Yeah, it can get like that.
Especially for the quarterbacks, man. I watched the interview with Aaron Murray here in the last 2 weeks, man. He said when him and Zach Mettenberger came in, Zach had a better spring, and he was calling his mama. It wasn't even no portal back then. And he was like, I might just have to go somewhere and sit out. He's like, because as a quarterback, you're never worried about the guy that's already there. You're worried about the guy you come in with and the guy that come in behind you. He said, because if you can't beat them out, you can't play. And he was like, Zach was having a time.
Hey, that's every position. I know it sounds crazy. It ain't but one quarterback, but that's every position's thought. You got to beat somebody.
If you look at kind of the philosophy on how just, the history on how, things have worked out for us, like, granted, the best player going to play, but when you come to the quarterback, it's not necessarily about who has the higher ceiling. Kirby's going to play the person who can run the offense, not put us in bad situations and turn the ball over. So you might be a 5-star or a 6-star, however many stars you got, but if this your first year, only year 2, and you got this guy that been waiting his turn for 3 or 4 years, and he trusts him, and he still might not have the potential that you have as a 5-star. You gonna still sit there behind this guy who don't have as much potential that you have. But if he can run the offense and not put us in harm's way, he gonna be the starter.
Yeah, because I feel like, man, my boys talk all the time. It's not that Kirby don't care about the quarterback position, but he feel like he got so much talent around him. All you got to do is not mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
Just don't mess it up.
Just
don't
it's like, I don't need you to win, but don't mess it up for me.
Don't give the ball away. If you don't give it away, we got a chance to beat anybody, any and everybody. We don't give it away. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, man, coming out of spring, Shelby wants to know. We can talk about some other spring games. Did anybody see Arch? He was basic. Texas fans were not.
He ain't gonna beat that guy out.
No. So one thing that I noticed, Quinn Ewers cut the mullet, so which let me know he was really serious.
He serious big. Yeah, okay. He
balled out. Listen, he cut the mullet, dog. He had the mullet since high school. I was like, this dude.
No more gimmicks. He said the gimmick is gone. I got to play ball.
Yeah, man. You don't want no gimmick at quarterback.
He came in as one of the 5 1.0 players out of the recruiting. The highest you can get is a 1.0. He was one of 5 quarterbacks in the since 2000. That came in as that guy. He did not, to me, play like that guy last year. So I think he kind of realized that.
He had the time. Now he was a little up, but he had a lot of moments.
Yeah, he had some moments, but dog, Texas was what 6-6 or something, and he didn't play.
I'm just saying, but he got something now.
He ain't playing like a 1.0.
What year is this? He's a sophomore, true sophomore.
He's a true freshman last year.
No, he's a redshirt sophomore. He played
redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, he went to Ohio State his first year. So
that's right.
Then he transferred, and then last year was his first year.
That was his first year at Texas.
Yeah. Now I tell you somebody from Texas that did look good. I'm still a fan. A.D. Mitchell. I know he ain't in Athens no more, but
he did. Did he look good?
Yeah,
he looked good out there.
Yeah.
What he wearing? What number he wearing? 1.
Yeah, he was. Listen, man, he was out there one-handed catching and killing them with the routes. I was like, they ain't even ready for none of that. They like this. Why
they don't know what they got. They don't know how to drive a Mercedes. They drive their trucks out there.
Hey, he had to do what he had to do for the family, man. But
I respect him.
I ain't mad at him.
It's some business, man.
It definitely that.
Listen. Quinn Ewers got him a weapon now. I don't know how they're gonna replace Bijan Robinson because he was one of the best running backs in the nation. That's gonna be hard to replace. But yeah, Arch didn't look like the recruit that he's supposed to be. But it's his first spring. The guy behind him actually probably might be the best passer and never get to play out there because, like Thad said, Steve Sarkisian trusts Quinn Ewers. You know what I'm saying?
Come to death row.
Malik Murphy. Right. You said if Brock hit the point of Malik, we got a spot for you, dog.
Come on home.
Hey, I won't be mad at Kirby for that one right there, dog.
Hey, I watched Arch Manning play in high school, man. I just want to say this. It's gonna take him a little time to get acclimated to the level of play, because he played at a real, like a church school or something or other. And I watched the competition. It's a bunch of little
kids.
Yeah, he gonna have to. Yeah.
Listen, man, I think you're right. Not even just adjusting to the talent and the speed and on defense, but he's got to get used to guys that he's throwing to actually being able to run. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys he was playing with can't run. They wasn't tall. Listen, Jacob.
They was all little. They was all mid.
Had the same problem. Like he was the number one quarterback out there in, like, I don't know, Colorado or Utah.
Hey, Rod, just stop talking, man. You just stacking poop on top of poop.
We trying to get
church school so they all midgets, man. What is that?
He said church school. Listen, for real. So my guy B Shaw, what's up? He said the defensive level of competition is different too, man. It is, and I think it's gonna take him a year. But I think Quinn is probably gonna be out after this year. Look, B Dillon said, "Did you say church school, E Rob?"
Church school, man. That's a shot across the bow. We got to see
he
them.
He said Catholic school. He said a church school.
Hey, Cole, can't film live no more. We have to go back to end.
I like it.
Hey man, listen, this is the springtime, man. Listen, we about to have a couple weeks off. The players gonna have a couple weeks to regroup, and then they're gonna start summer workouts. We're gonna have a couple weeks off, and then we're gonna get ready for this 3-peat run, man. And listen, health.
And what about the cons, Coach?
What about what?
Anybody got any cons about? I know it did the spring, but
here we
long
go. Yeah.
season to go. You know what I'm saying? But to see if there are any cons to where we are right now in the process, you know what I'm saying, and building on this third national championship.
My biggest worry is, staying focused, because like I said, it's a lot of guys out there with 2 rings, and the rings look good, by the way. They showed the Peach Bowl ring, the SEC championship ring, the Natty ring. The rings look good, and I just like, God, bro, I want these dudes to stay focused.
Look at it.
That's how they hand was looking.
Like all 4 fingers, dog.
Right.
I'm like, that's just what I'm just like, God, can we stay focused? And not for nothing, man. Like the players know. Like I know that you go in and y'all know as players, y'all got to treat every team with respect. But it ain't like we got a gauntlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that schedule.
That's what's gonna save us, because this is one of them years where we was gonna lose focus in a game.
Yeah,
our schedule is so trash. We probably are gonna lose focus in the game and still win that game by two. You know what I'm saying? So,
but coaches hate that, right? Coaches hate that.
No, he gonna coach it, because he gonna be like, I don't care that we won. Here's the film. The film don't lie. You know what I'm saying? So he'll be able
that second quarter was horrible.
Build into it.
We only gained 500 yards of offense. What the hell is wrong with y'all?
Exactly. We're gonna hear about it.
But
it's gonna be a long season, guys. It's gonna be hard to come up with things to talk about, because it's almost like, I hate to say it, it's gonna be like that kind of, I don't want to switch gears, but just metaphorically speaking, it's gonna be kind of like that LeBron James effect. Like, you really witnessing greatness, but you take it for advantage because it looks so easy and it's been happening for so long. To do it again, not to get ahead of myself, but just speaking, but to have won, 30 games or something in a row. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Thad, the way I look at it, man, I don't think we taking it for granted. I think we just taking advantage of it. I think that 30, 40-year drought, we ain't forgot. And so we're just gonna celebrate until you tell me now. You got to make me stop. Like they partying regardless. Every weekend it's like we just won it all over again.
Facts.
So You know, the fans ain't gonna stop, and that's the momentum we got. So you know, every week, you know, these opponents are gonna have to see that. They got to deal with that, and we got to play to that standard. That's gonna be our challenge. And you know, I'm glad we got the guy at the helm we got.
That's right. And us all here on RTH, man, listen, we started this thing in 2021. We won a chip. We kept it going. We know the chip.
Trend.
But that's because we're coming. We're bringing our A game too. So RTH family, we're going to need y'all to come in every week. And we're going to need y'all to be interactive with us because, like Than said, I'm going to be honest, there's not going to be a lot when we preview Ball State. There's not going to be, you know, when we preview Vandy. Like, we need y'all to come in, hit that like button, subscribe, share it, comment. Talk
Who
to
on
us.
the schedule we gonna preview a lot? Man, we finna beat up on everybody.
We're gonna beat the hell out of everybody, yeah.
You know,
we're gonna be a long year, man. It's gonna be hard to come up with stuff to talk about.
They're gonna get tired of us. That's all.
Listen,
They're just gonna get tired of us. We're gonna be right.
This is how Vegas think about it. Like Vegas says we 11, like our over-under for wins in the season out of 12 games is 11.5. They normally don't give anybody more than 10.5. They normally, like last year, Alabama, Ohio State, and Georgia all had 10.5 as the over-under. That's kind of the standard for the elite team. They saying with the schedule, with the returning talent, with the just the atmosphere and the program, 11.5, bro. So listen, RTH family, y'all gonna have to be here with us. We got to do our part.
Man.
Hey, we got to stop hollering disrespect too.
Shout out to man. We need more of them kind of stats, Benjamin. Shout out to Benjamin.
I like that one. That was a good one.
I like that.
So that's what I'm saying, man. We got to make sure we bringing it every week because if we take a lull, we got to know that we can't be on them for taking a lull. We got to make sure we in it. We're gonna have to come up with some new things. We might have some new segments for y'all. We're gonna get us. I'm thinking about a little debate segment with that, man. You know, we can draw some topics and see who want to go one-on-one with that.
Who want it?
You know what I'm saying?
Stephen A. shouted, man.
That's right, Stephen A. shouted.
Hey, I did that first season. I'm out the game. I'm through with that.
Hey, man, hey.
Screaming
shout out to
right there.
That's right. Screaming shout out to the RTH family, man. Y'all be showing up and showing out for us, man. And we're gonna keep this thing rolling for y'all, man. We come to the end of our time tonight. Listen, for my guys, Thad, E-Rob, CA. This is Coach I. We going for the 3-peat. Go Dogs.
Subscribe to the channel, man.